I've been reflecting a lot on that manifestation I talked about before. The one where someone asks me a question, and instead of answering directly, I start describing a mental image. I paint the scene. I set the context. I describe the table, the lighting, the bowl of fruit. But I don't actually give them what they're asking for. I've been trying to understand why I do this. And I think it comes down to a few things. Avoidance of direct accountability. Cognitive overload. A desire to provide context. Fear of giving the wrong answer. My brain takes the easy route, describing the familiar image, instead of doing the harder work of answering directly. But I don't want to just understand it. I want to address it. I want to actually change the behavior. So I've been thinking about practical techniques. Things I can actually do in the moment. No pausing required. No awkward silence. No need to remember to take a deep breath. Just simple, actionable ways to make sure I actually answer the question. I've come up with 3. Technique 1. The repeating keyword rule. Here's the idea. When someone asks me a question, I repeat the keyword or phrase from the question as the start of my response. It forces my brain to focus on the core of the question before I start speaking. So if someone asks, "How did you do in the exam?" I start with, "Exam performance," and then I answer. If they ask, "What did you have for breakfast?" I start with, "Breakfast," and then I say what I ate. It sounds almost too simple, but here's why it works. By the time I've said the keyword, I've already committed to the topic. I've already signaled to my brain, this is what we're talking about. I can't drift into describing the scene or the environment because I've already anchored myself to the core of the question. It also shows the other person that I'm listening, that I've heard what they asked, that I'm not just launching into my own narrative. Technique 2, the headline first rule. This one is about structure. I deliver the core answer in my very first sentence. Not the context, not the background, not the scene, just the answer. So if someone asks, "How did your exam go?" I say, "I missed the passing line by 2 marks." That's it. That's the headline. If they ask, "What happened at the meeting?" I say, "We discussed the budget and I shared my ideas." That's the headline. Then, if they want more details, they'll ask. But I've already given them the most important piece of information. I haven't made them wait through a description of the room or the seating or the lighting. I've given them what they actually need. This prevents the mental image detour because I've already delivered the core answer. I can't describe the scene if I've already given them what they need. By the time I've finished my first sentence, the question is already answered. Technique 3, the action snapshot rule. This one is about what I focus on. Instead of describing the scene or the mental image, I describe only the action that happened. Not where, not when, not what things looked like, just the action. So if someone asks, "What happened at the meeting?" I don't describe the room, the seating, the lighting, the coffee cups. I say, "We discussed the budget and I shared my ideas." If someone asks, "How did you spend your weekend?" I don't describe the weather, the couch, the TV show. I say, "I rested and caught up on some reading." It's about shifting my attention from the visual details to what actually happened. The action is the important part. The scene is just decoration. This technique is especially useful when I feel the urge to describe the environment. Instead of giving in to that urge, I ask myself, what actually happened? What's the action? And I answer that.